Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Wheel-to-Wheel Racing. Tonight we are at Garden Trail Seaside. We are in our off-season at the moment. We are here doing Group 1, Group C races, so pre-89 vehicles. And I have a fairly jam-packed lobby at the moment. And in the commentary box with me, we have Super Dragon. Good evening, Super Dragon.
Yes, good evening. Glad to be here in the commentary box again. Watch this beautiful Group C machines rock around Dragon Trail Seaside.
Yeah, they're fantastic on screen, aren't they? And on that note, doing our visuals tonight is Dodgy86. Good evening, Dodgy.
Thanks for that, Captain. Glad to be here yet again. I love this Div 1 crew. They seem to handle these very heavy beasts quite well, so I'm sure this is going to be an awesome race.
Oh, CS Packers just lagged out.
Yeah, CS Packers left. Hopefully it jumps back in before the start of the race. But yeah, absolutely. These cars can be a bit of a handful, but once you tend to figure out their little traits and how they behave, they can actually be a really, really good amount of fun.
Certainly took a bit of learning. I know the first time I had them out on track, I was like, oh my god, there's no way I could do this season. But after a bit of training on this track with it, I was really looking forward to this weekend. Unfortunately, in the end, visuals won out, but I'm quite glad not to be up against that chicane of death tonight, so quite happy to be here doing visuals.
Yeah, I was just about to make a comment on that.
Damage made through there.
Yeah. I was doing some earlier practice this week, just had a bit of free time, and yeah, I basically couldn't make it anywhere past 3, maybe 4 laps without utterly KOing myself at chicane of death, and it's rightfully named, so it just ruined every race that I was a part of, and I'm quite happy to sit out and do some commentary.
Absolutely. Look, we've got a few new guys in here tonight too, fellas. We've got Diswood 1, who's new to Wheel this week, and Tate 2J. How do we think they're going to go?
I'm expecting big things from Diswood. I've raced with him through some FIAs and other games and a bit everywhere. And he's bloody quick. He always beats me. So
he's got some blinding pace.
In this lobby.
Yeah, definitely. He was one of the ones during the practice lobbies throughout the week, and yeah, he's definitely up there with the top guys. He was putting pressure, or if not beating the likes of Fine Moves and Oil during the week. So yeah, he's definitely one to keep an eye on.
I haven't seen much from Tate.
I was just about to say, yeah, he's fairly fresh. So he'll be one to keep an eye on and suss him out tonight, see how he drives.
Well, I'm not sure how good he's going to be. He's in a maroon 4X livery there, so I dare say he's a Queensland maroon supporter. So that's not going to bode well for him from the start.
One thing I got to say I love about these Group C cars is the fact that you can drive that beautiful 787B around. There's a little bit of a lack of representation in this lobby with only 2 of them, but
yeah, Contagious and Intrinsic. They will certainly be sure they're heard driving around in that 787. It's not particularly quiet, that car.
Absolutely. Yeah, it seems the lobby is dominated by the Mercedes, so that's looking to be a fairly strong car throughout here. See
yeah, definitely.
Throughout the race.
Another car to watch as well is actually the Nissan. It might just be the fact that Diswood is driving it, but he's shown that it's got some pace, so we'll see what he can pull up.
Yeah, only the 2 Nissans in the lobby as well. I think there's 2 Porsche, and then the rest are Mercedes, so...
Yeah. Definitely Mercedes biased. Yeah, Five Moves is in the Porsche. He seems to be doing pretty well, as per usual.
I mean, the practice race would say otherwise, but he's always got a handle on whatever car he drives from what I've seen. Hopefully I'm not going to put the commentator's curse on him, but he's Mr. Robot, he's Mr. Consistent, so...
Exactly. He didn't win last season for no reason.
Exactly.
Another thing I like about the off-season as well is it's open slather for livery choice, so we generally see the ones who want to change liveries each week, they'll either spend a bit of time making their own, or they'll steal one off of the Discover area. But yeah, it's great to see some of the things that people pull out in a matter of days.
Yeah, it's always nice to jump around into Discover and look at all the creations people have, especially for myself who is pretty terrible when it comes to making liveries. I have no vision with them at all, so...
Yeah, I'm much the same. I do like a bit of a dig around Discover, and if I do a livery myself, I tend to spend ages on it and then look back at it and go, well, that was super simple. Like, what was what was those efforts? But finding what other people have done is always good fun.
I think they're just holding off. We should have started about 2 minutes ago on the quali, but I think they're waiting to see if who was it?
I think
CS Packer.
Yeah, Packer.
Yeah, so he's
CS
just
Packer
said in
comes back.
Discord that he's got no internet, so looks like we're starting without him,
Here we
unfortunately.
go.
Yep.
Sorry to hear that, Packer. Was looking forward to your race tonight.
Yeah, down to 12 we go as a couple of the guys send it sideways into the final corner, as you do when the timer comes up.
Seems to be the done thing in wheel to wheel, doesn't it? Alrighty, who's going to get out of the free air? Especially with these Group C's, they can produce a bit of dirty air in it.
Oh, he's just joined. That's a
just joined back up. Just missed out. So it looks like Jonesy's gotten out into free air by himself.
He might be able to get back
put
in.
my money on him.
Yep.
Yeah, the race starts as soon as qualifying is done, so unless there is a restart call, there we go. So Intrinsic's come up with the red flag.
Yep.
We're going to bail out and restart qualifying for Packer, which is great to see. It's good. Good through the off season. We're a little bit less stringent on the rules, so since we're not racing for keeps. So
well, it looks like Gran Turismo's thought fine moves is saying some naughty words there. it's starting him out.
So who's left on track?
Pure Axel.
There we go, he's jumping out.
Yep.
And hopefully everyone understands they've got a red X out of it as well, because qualifying's still live.
Looks like most are doing that.
He is a lucky boy. Alrighty. Waiting for Pure and Evil One to X out, and we'll give qualifying a restart.
So while I've got a little bit extra time, who are you guys going to be looking out for during qualifying? Who's he's lagged out again.
Oh no.
Does anyone have a pick to take pole, or?
Given some of the laps I've seen Fine Moves do earlier this week, it would be tough to move past him. But then again, Pure Axel has always shown his pace and pulled out a fantastic qualifying, fantastic race. So, yeah, either one of those two for me.
Okay. Yeah. I think pretty safe picks too.
Yeah, I wouldn't take my eyes off Apex either. I think he's out trying to get a handle on these cars, and he's seriously getting up there. So I'd keep an eye on him too. Yeah,
that's a very good point. He's shown some pace in season 6 when he was in probably not the most ideal of cars, but he certainly showed his worth. So now when he's potentially in a on point car, certainly one to look out for.
Pure Axel doesn't know he's got a red cross out, so...
Well, give it a minute, he'll have an explanation, and hopefully we'll be able to restart. See if... CS Packer's joined back in.
He's got it.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to go out on a little bit of a limb, and I'm going to go for Diswood to take pole. I think he's going to come in first lobby and take it.
Start cleaning up.
Yeah. As we see everyone jumping back in.
Yeah, I have seen Jonesy do some fantastic race pace, so I want to keep an eye on him throughout qualifying and see what he can pull off. But...
He's doing a nice rolling burnout at the moment, practicing his starts. I think. Oh no, he's just gone for the rolling burnout now.
Just doing some burnouts, trying to warm his tyres up.
Yeah, try and get rid of all the grip. You don't want any of that.
That's overrated.
Exactly.
So how many laps of quali are we going to get hot laps, do you reckon, gents? Is it a 2 hot lap or just the 1?
We might get 3.
I'm thinking it's... Yeah, I agree. I'm thinking it's 3. I think it's about a minute and a half each lap. So if they can get out and keep their lap times low, there's every possibility they'll get 3 laps in.
Yeah, so I think the only thing that could stop you from getting 3 laps is possibly getting damage and having to run through the pits and repair it. But I guess you could exit out of qualifying to cancel that out, so...
yeah, true. You can exit qualifying and jump back in, can't you?
Yeah, which, if you're qualifying with fuel and tyres on, which we don't hear, it would reset your tyres and fuel as well, but...
Yeah.
So you see Diswood's pulling off to the side to let everyone through, looking for that clean air.
Looks like he's playing it smart. Yeah, trying to get a bit of clean air. It seems like Jonesy's gotten away up front again. He's rocking a fairly standard Mercedes colour livery that he's made up. He's got some wheel decals on there and rocking the name brand, which is good to see.
Yeah.
Behind him, we have Fine Moves. He's repping a Rockstar livery. I wonder if he's made that one up or if he's stolen it from Discover. But
I reckon that might be a Discover one there, but I do think if there's anything that's going to motivate you to do a faster lap, it's having fine moves in your mirrors.
Yeah.
That's one man that I do not want to get in the way of during qualifying, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I think the only people within slipstream range of each other for the qualifying lap is Oil and UpU, which might be a good decision on UpU Baby's choice, because he might feel he doesn't have the pace of the faster guys and wants to use a bit of slipstream to keep up, maybe.
Yeah, he can pull himself back in on the straights again.
Tate and Evil are quite close together as well. So just having a look. Currently, fastest first sector time is set by Apex Humper with a 28.099.
There we go. So I think Tate has just come out of the pits again, so maybe he's copped some damage there and had to reset himself.
I think he got in the way of someone.
Yep.
So yeah, Apex Humper fastest through the first sector. Let's see if we can continue it. Fine Moves got a really competitive time, but Oil in My Blood's actually beaten him.
Okay, here we go.
So Jonesy's coming across the start-finish. We'll see where he places himself. 22.2. That is a fantastic time from Jonesy.
From Fine Moves as well.
Are we going to see a 21?
I didn't expect to see some 21s, but that's certainly there. It is
21.9.
21.9.
That is some pace right there.
I think we're seeing a couple people get some banker laps and a couple people that have just tried to find a bit of space. So, if they're sitting lower in the numbers at the moment, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're slow on pace. They might have just had a bit of a lap where they've gathered their thoughts and come back out for a fly this time.
Yeah. So I think the only person not to set a time yet is Tate, who's coming to the end of his second out lap, so he's had a drama on the first one. But 4X Machines not treating him too well. Even one's just reset back to the pits as well.
There we go. So I think UpU Baby's now pulled out of his lap as well. So yeah, he's come a guts to summer. He's got front end damage and both front wheels are not in good shape. So that's ruined his qualifying.
At this point, it's too late to quit out to the pits and get another lap in as well. So
it is, yeah.
I guess we'll see if Jonesy can improve on his lap. He's coming across the line now with Fine Moves close behind.
He's currently sitting in fourth.
No improvement.
Doesn't improve, no.
Either of them.
Neither does Fine Moves.
Was next on track. Does improve up to fifth. Oil comes through with no improvement. Stays sixth.
There we go. So Diswood found himself in a bit of traffic. So I wonder if that's going to help him or going to hinder him.
Yeah,
Diswood with a 222. Oh, Scooter with a 21.6. Right up to the top. Wow, that came out of nowhere.
I think he was right with CS Packer and Diswood there and had a double slipstream to the line. Yeah,
it looks like he's been able to pull off a really good track position. Just as soon as we start talking about him, he's come a gutter. But at the end of the day, he's 3 pits up on second place. That's nothing to be worried about.
Come across the line with about 2 seconds too late, and he's only got the one flyer in with a 22.7, so that's going to put him in provisional 9th. believe Jonesy and
who's
Fine
not going
Moves
to
will
be
be the next ones coming across the line.
So we are seeing a few 3-lappers out there. Actually, most of the field's on 3-lap.
Oh, Fine Moves was right on the tail of Jonesy there, but Jonesy went deep, so it's probably Jonesy's lap gone. We'll see if Fine Moves can improve.
Fine Moves does with a 21.8.
Pure Axle's coming across the line now. No improvement from Pure Axle. Can Oil improve? No improvement from Oil. Next we have Intrinsic and that beautiful Mazda. No improvement.
Doesn't improve either.
TS Packer, seeing if he can improve. He does. He jumps out of 12th. Apex stays 3rd. We've got Diswood and Scooter coming across the line for their final lap here.
No improvement from Diswood or Scooter.
And one final car that I can't find is Contagious, who does improve but stays in 11th. So that Mercedes dominating the front of the grid, just separated by the Porsche Fine Moves.
It doesn't surprise me. And just noted as well, the top 8, I think, are separated by less than a second. So it's really showing competitive nature in the off-season races here.
Absolutely. The quality of field here, even though we have less people in the off-season, a lot of people taking a break, is still really high.
It's still top-notch, yeah.
So I guess we'll see how these guys go getting off the line.
Front of the group there, Dodgy. What do you think?
Well, I'm on with Jonesy at the moment.
I think that's a good place to be. Oh, I think Pure Axle.
Oh, there's been a few offered on the start.
Intrinsic's had a rocket start.
Yeah, Intrinsic's up to 6 already.
Yeah, he's. I think he's gotten past Oil and a couple others. I think Oil had a horrible start and lit up the rear tyres. Contagious going in deep into turn 1 as well.
We've had Jonesy, Fine Moves, and Apex trying to go 3 wide there.
God,
they're trying to shuffle for position.
Look at that pack of cars. Coming 2 wide through here. Apex gets a little bump. He's out on the curbing. Holds onto it though. Puts him on the outside and he gets passed by Tate. CS Packer's looking up the inside of Diswood. We'll see if Diswood can hold on to that position. As everyone slowly slots into line of turn out.
Had a few little bumps. It'd be interesting to see if anyone came out with damage.
Contagious and up you. Contagious on the grass. He's held on to it. Barely.
Shuffling for position at the back of the grid.
Yeah, him and Up You went side by side through the first of the S section there, and being on the dirty tyres, they kind of got into it a little.
Yeah, as soon as you got behind,
see how everyone goes first time through the chicane. Looks like everyone's made it through cleanly from what I saw.
We're seeing a few scrapes against the wall. Don't see any damage. No, I take that back. Jonesy has got some front end wing damage, aero damage, and a front left.
Yeah.
But that's not going to be good for him. We'll see if he comes into the pits. Some people try and
he's kind of locked out of the pits there.
He didn't have much of a choice.
Right. He would have had to slam on the brakes maybe, but it's like Pure Axle and Scooter are breaking away at the front as well.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me with Scooter's qualifying lap. I'd expect him to be right up front.
Absolutely.
I wonder how much strategy is already coming into play as well, because it's an endurance race, obviously 41 laps here tonight, whereas going to be some strategy playing a long game. So just because you're leading now doesn't necessarily mean you'll win the race.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're seeing different fuel levels for a couple of the cars too, so it'll be interesting to see how much fueling comes into play when they have to make their pit stops for tyres.
Yeah, even one lap in, there's quite a bit of variance throughout the field already. I think Jonesy's unfortunately been the only one with front end damage, so we'll see if he continues to run with it or not. Oh, Scooter's getting a bit squiggly coming through the chicane, but managed to keep hold of it.
Oh man, Jonesy's gone through the death chicane with Evil One less than a tenth behind him. That was scary to watch there. Now side by side coming into the final corner, Evil One's just going to slip up the inside. See if Jonesy keeps running with this damage. It looks like he's going to.
Looks like he's trying to hold out. At least try and get the first stint done, and then think about strategy maybe after that.
Yeah, so over that lap, Fine Moves has made up about half a second on these two guys leading out the front. And then there's a group of 2 between Apex and Tate, with Diswood not too far behind, and Intrinsic hanging on to the back of him. So
Apex seems to be breaking the air there, and as soon as you mentioned Intrinsic, he's ran wide and lost a position to Oil. So Intrinsic is down to 8, Oil is up to 7. Which is a tough corner where Intrinsic came off. If you don't get your turning point right, it can really throw you out wide really quick.
Absolutely. I think we should keep an eye on this battle for 4th at the moment, because we've got 2 of the new guys that we talked about at the start of the stream battling for 5th and 6th, trying to hang on to the back of Apex for 4th at the moment.
So really only split by a second, these 3, so they're definitely still within slip from each other and all looking quite racy. And Diswood being quite a quick driver and in the missing as well.
Fine Moves might have a go for 2nd here. It's right up the back of Scooter, within 2/10 of him. He could definitely send it up the inside into turn 1 fairly easily here. He doesn't. He pulls out early. Playing the long game. It is a 1 hour race, so.
Yeah, Fine Moves has been known to play tactics. Not in a bad way, just in a sense of playing the long game, playing it smart. And if he can sit behind someone and save a bit of fuel, that's certainly something that he will lap up and take advantage of.
And the battle for 11th is on right now as well, with Contagious and Jonesy going side by side, right behind Up You Baby as well. So there's action all throughout the field here, as they're still side by side. They slot into single file coming through here, so it looks like that damage to Jonesy is really starting to hurt him.
Yeah, it can certainly play havoc with you, trying to learn to drive with it while still being quick, and then also taking care of your tyres has some pretty big effects, unfortunately.
Yeah, having that front aero damage, it takes just that little bit of downforce off the front, so you don't have as much grip through the fast corners and stuff, which is going to hurt him majorly. He might be trying to drive to a number to try and maybe change his strategy or something.
Who'd we lose?
Oh, CS Packer is in the wall.
Packer's come through the chicane of death and unfortunately wiped himself out.
3 wheels and his front and rear bumper are all.
Let's see if I can bring something up there and see how
so
we
he's
go.
13th at the moment.
So we're with CS Packer now. He's coming through. He's got Evil One right behind him. He's just coming through the bus stop. And all he's done is gone straight ahead, straight into that wall at the bus stop, unfortunately. I couldn't tell if there was anything there from Evil One behind him, unfortunately. But yeah, straight in he went.
So the bus stop claims its first major victim of the day.
Yep, there goes the first plaque.
Given it's lap 4, I'm actually quite impressed, to tell the truth. Would have been expecting some more lap 1 carnage, but again, these boys know that it's a long race, and sitting back and just getting through cleanly is quite clearly the optimum strategy here. So.
Yeah, and back towards the front, it looks like Apex has broken away from Diswood and Tate, and is starting to bridge the gap to that top 3 to try and put himself into contention for the podium as well. So we'll see if the guys battling for 5th maybe work together a little, catch up to that group. And
Apex just collected that wall on coming out of the bus stop then, so hopefully he hasn't got any aero.
No, he does. He has front aero damage and front left wheel damage or suspension, so we'll see if that's going to trigger him to come into the pits or not.
Staying out.
No, not yet. So this could play into his strategy. He might be able to try and do a half stint or something, fix the damage and then get a fresh set of tyres, come back out looking quite racy, or it opens up the field and can certainly rattle you when you're trying to concentrate on driving, and then you've got something like that to contend with and try and change your strategy on the fly. It can really mess with your flow.
Absolutely, and unless Fine Moves has got damage, which I'm not sure if he does, there's no way Apex could catch him, and that's sort of got to make you think twice as to, well, should I pit early and give it a go, because you can tell now that Fine Moves is pulling away from him already.
Yeah, no, those top 3 guys are all damage free until now. So there's, at the moment, I think throughout the field there's damage on Apex, Humper, and I believe I saw Contagious and Jonesy. Oh, Jonesy's yellow flags are out for Jonesy. I think he might have disconnected.
Oh yeah, Jonesy, I can't even find him on the track.
No,
he's gone.
Gone.
Says he's got the brakes on. I'm not quite sure, but
yeah.
I just had a picture of him in
Contagious just
sand.
might need to save a replay for Contagious here. He's just spun out into one of the hairpins. Yep.
Yeah, coming down the hill, it looks like he's collected the wall.
I'll see if I can cut back to him. Let's see where he is. He's all by himself in that Mazda at the moment. And he's coming down the straight towards the bottom of the hill. And he's just cooked it, come out too wide. The brakes aren't quite working for him. And he's collected the fence. So all his own doing with that one, unfortunately. And he's gone into the pits.
Certainly easy to be done out there, and unfortunately with full damage on, she's very unforgiving.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And now with Apex having that front damage, Tate and Diswood are catching up to him. Tate's actually taken the position off of Diswood while we were watching those replays as well, so...
Yeah, so I wonder what happened to Diswood there. He's still damage free, but yeah, Tate's definitely got the upper hand on him, so...
He's going to have Apex very shortly.
He's reeling him in pretty quick too. Oil's also starting to, I think he's getting a bit of a hang of the car, and he's starting to reel Diswood in as well, so this battle's starting to heat up throughout the board.
So it's good to see him start to climb back up.
I think Apex has got to bite the bullet and come in. It's just going to cost him too much in the long run.
It certainly does. And the more you put it off, the more you end up losing out in terms of time. Like, it certainly sucks sitting in the pits for, 3.5 seconds or whatever it ends up being, but it's honestly the best option.
And there we go. He stayed out and he was taken by the next corner. Almost by both of them.
Yeah, Tate's got a fantastic overtake on the straight there, nice and easy.
I don't think Diswood will want to sit behind him for long either. He'll be watching that gap to Will and seeing that tick down while he's behind Apex here, I think.
Yeah, if we stay on with Apex and Diswood, I'm expecting to see a jump potentially through the exit of the sweepers, only because Apex doesn't quite have that front end grip dealing with his damage, so he is going to be slightly slower. We'll see if Diswood is aware of that and can take advantage, get a good exit, and then finally crash on him coming down this straight.
That slipstream helped him out a fair bit.
Yep.
Just having a look, he's not going to go for it though.
Certainly could have forced that move, but he's playing clean, which is actually good to see.
So now I think's a part where the
you see Tate Suje is coming up through the chicane. He's currently in 7th if you're on
He's been lucky to get away with just the front bumper damage there.
Okay,
and now Oil's
see how we go.
He's certainly lost a lot of time and positions already.
Gone back a bit far with Tate, but here we come coming around the bend, just going into the bus stop now. So he's going in at full pelt. And again, he's just overcooked it and gone straight ahead, just like the previous one. So yeah, unfortunate. All his own doing. And now we've jumped back on with Pure Axel, who...
He's run away at the front, yeah.
Oh, no, we haven't. There we go. Sorry, guys, I'm having some issues here with my buttons, like hitting the wrong ones.
Yeah, Pure Axel's pulled out nearly a 3-second lead.
Scooter can't pit. But when I try and spectate Scooter, he's invisible and driving around.
This has popped up previously and we had to restart the race. Diswood's coming up with a pit glitch as well.
Can't pit, so nobody can pit.
Turismo's having a bit of a freak out again, unfortunately.
So that might have to be a full restart to manual grid set, because no one can pit for anything.
Nope, no one can pit, no one is getting back out on the track, and it's not like we can start on lap 10 either, because we need, with the way our leaderboards are set up, we need total times.
That's correct.
Full race restart.
Yeah, the only other time I've seen this happen was round 4 of season 6 in the race I was actually involved in. We had to restart about 6 laps in. That was Bathurst, the Bathurst Enduro.
That's right, it was Bathurst Enduro. Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't think there's much these guys can do. I think they have to pull out.
There's honestly, it has to be a lobby reset by the looks of it.
Yeah.
We'll let those guys call it, but I'd say there is going to be a red flag on the race.
Yeah. Yeah, see, Jonesy was the first one to be bitten, and now everyone else is just following the same suit. Yeah, we're already seeing people drop out of the race, so expecting a red flag is inevitable because everyone has to pit at some point in time, and
so Pure Axle's got it too.
Don't get a race.
Fine Moves is pulled out, red flag. No, can't do that.
No, you can't restart with 33. Is 33 the main laps? No, it's 40 something, isn't it?
Total of 41.
Yeah, it's 41.
Yeah. Again, we need the total times. Oh, this sucks. Gran Turismo showing its typical traits, unfortunately.
Well, while we're waiting there, I do have a leaderboard up here. This is how we ended up last season, season 6, with our drivers. As you can see there, Fine Moves is on top with 4,455 points for the season. How'd you fellas go in the leaderboard of season 1? Where'd you end up? Sorry, season 6. Where'd you end up?
So I ended up 8th in the Premier League leaderboard and 15th overall, which was my 15th overall was my shoot for the stars kind of goal. So I'm really happy with where I finished.
Awesome. And Captain, where did you end up?
Yeah, I was a newbie to Wheel to Wheel during season 5 off season. So I was in D League for season 6 and managed to round out the podium on that one. So came in 3rd in D League, just behind Apex and Oil. So I was actually pretty happy with that. And
awesome.
7th overall. So
7th overall.
Yeah, I can't complain for a rookie season. There are some amazingly quick drivers in this field, and to end up ranking 7th, I'm pretty stoked.
Awesome, yeah, well done. Honestly, I have no idea where I came in Wheel to Wheel, being probably a mid-range driver. I think I ended somewhere about right on 50 out of the 100. But my ideal with Wheel to Wheel was not a seasonal thing, it was a weekly. I picked a couple of drivers that I knew were a bit better than me, and every week I just gauged it on how I went against those drivers in the whole scheme of things, because I was racing in a different lobby every week with commentating. You got to race where you fit. I really enjoyed the season. I think I did really well and ended up catching up to those drivers I had my eye on. So ending 50 for my first season I thought was pretty good.
Yeah, definitely, and that's another good thing about Wheel to Wheel is even though we do have lobby races due to lobby size limits within Gran Turismo, the overall time is what's measured for your points from the round. So we might have 5 or 6 lobbies racing. You might get a win within your lobby, and then the overall time is what will make up your points for that round, and then your position on the leaderboard. So it's really good to be able to see a lot of people still battle it out, even though you may not be in the same lobby, or even if you are battling it out in the same lobby. It is good to be able to see some competition through the leaderboards.
Yeah, and another big thing with the overall times being what you scored off of is that can mean losing one position and not fighting too hard in your lobby saves you time and gets you 3 or 4 positions over people in other lobbies. So smart racing can definitely come into play and help you out here as well.
It certainly can. I don't disagree with that at all. I had what was the round? Well, it wasn't Enduro. We had 3 races at Spa, and even though that was one of my worst points rounds, it was the best, and it was outstanding for the actual racing that was able to be held. So even though I didn't score very well, it was one of my most favourite rounds to date. So, being a part of Wheel to Wheel, it isn't always just racing and winning. It's racing and having a good time while you're doing it.
Yeah, definitely. And the community, the Discord and everything is just filled with a bunch of great people, awesome people throughout the whole thing that give their time to help with stewarding and admin and commentary and all that stuff.
Yeah, certainly. It's a full community league, and yeah, that's exactly what makes it run, is the community, and the feel for it is outstanding. Absolutely over the moon that I could join in and be a part of the fun.
Well, it looks like we're going back into a full race. They've been debating in the background. I've just had us on a bit of a hold screen while they work out what they're doing. So they're debating in the background, and it is going to make it difficult. It means we won't be able to kick off the Div 2 stream that is supposed to happen straight after this. It may be running a bit late, if at all. So we'll see how we're going for time, and might have to get a message to the Div 2 guys to delay for us, unfortunately. But yeah, it looks like we're going to be in for a full race. We'll see how we go.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the best way to do it, to be honest. Yes, it is off-season, but there is still, people do want to see their results count, and especially for the newbies, they want to be able to judge where they're going to land, and it also gives us a good indication of where they should fit into the league as well. And where to place them.
And with the draft system coming up as well, that could, seeing where certain people's results are throughout these off-season rounds could get them a spot in a team.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely.
Not, so.
Yeah, being a teammate myself, it's I've got my eye on a couple of people through this off-season, so it'll be good to see where they place and see how they drive.
Yeah, congratulations on that, by the way, Lowside, a new team boss. So with the new rules for wheel to wheel with the team bosses we've got, if you place in the top 3 of teams, you get to carry on with your team. So that's a first for us. So it's going to be interesting. There'll be a lot of rivalry going on to get these teams in the top 3, I reckon. So you can sort of keep your team and keep powering on.
Yeah. And that means that 6 teams are going to need a different team leader next season if they don't have the 2.5 million in earnings to carry on. So
that's right.
One thing I did find out that was unique about the team leaders is actually half of Team Vintage from last season are now team leaders.
Yeah, that was a shock.
This season. So Dale, Rexy, and Shans all put their hand up to be team leaders from that team, which is crazy. It looks like we're getting back underway again.
Yep.
Let's see if we get a proper start this time.
This should work well for Jonesy.
And we're out.
Yeah, they're all better start this time. So if this restart's going to help anyone out, it'll be Jonesy, because he won't be suffering that first 6 laps with all that damage. Touch wood.
Definitely, although unfortunately he's already down to 8th position. We see Oil have a fantastic start. He's going side by side with Tate for 4th position.
Oh, they're 3 wide in the back
too.
too.
Have been able to run away with the start so far too.
Did we lose someone back there? I didn't see that.
No, there was just some dirt kicked up. Oh,
Yep.
CS Pack has gone in a little deep into the hairpin, but hangs onto it, does lose him position and drops him back into 13th. But
now there is
Tate and Oil are side by side through the S's as well.
A scary thought for most of these drivers is now Fine Moves has gotten in front, and he's already almost a second in front. So that's now playing catch up for everyone else.
Yep, Scooter and Pure Axel will be trying to chase him down very quickly. Tate's actually had a great start, and he's already up into 4th as well. So
yeah, he's almost been able to pull.
Oh, as I say that, he's into the wall.
Not again.
Oh, on lap 1. Oh, Contagious has gone too.
Oh, wow.
We're seeing a lot of damage on this first opening lap.
So what happened was Tate's hit the wall and then Contagious has hit him. Tate has full damage. Everything on his car is damaged. The engine, all 4 wheels, and aero. He's got no option other than to pit.
Yeah.
That is brutal. Diswood got some front aero damage and came in straight away as well.
Yep.
Contagious will do the same. He's also got engine damage. So that's an absolutely brutal restart, and they'll be kicking themselves for that one, because
they will not be happy with that. No.
Yeah. So, I had a similar thing happen to me in the restart back in round 4 of the season 6. So
I think I might have jinxed it before when we said it was up to lap 4 and there was no major carnage, and they're certainly making up for it now.
It's your fault.
Yeah. Commentators
the little things that could come into play there is those guys drove for 7, 8, 9 laps you know, they were just starting to get used to the tyre wear and taking it a little slower on the worn tyres, and and then they've come through with full tank of fuel and some fresh tyres. But
that's super unfortunate, and ultimately is how it rolls sometimes. But fingers crossed. Again, it's a long race. It's only lap 1. They've got 40 laps to recover. There's plenty more opportunities for gains to be made. So keep an eye on them and see how they manage to claw through the field.
So it looks like Scooter's he's made up that gap to fine moves, and he's taken purple for the second lap there. As he's coming right up onto the tail, as they also grow the gap to pure axle, which is now at 3 seconds. So
which is actually a bit surprising to see, considering it was almost a reverse of that in the first race. Pure axle was out by almost a 3-second lead. He's now fallen back by about 3 seconds. So I don't know what's happened to him. He's not showing any damage, but maybe he's playing the long game. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe he decided that the strategy he was running wasn't what he wanted to do. Maybe he's changed something up. He could have just ran a little wide. You know, every 10th counts when you're racing at this level as well. So bit of an apex hump probably licking his lips coming up right behind him.
Even just changing your brake bias a little to try and get a little more even wear on your tyres can slow you down just that little bit in the corners until you get used to it. So just something so minor can make a difference.
Especially with the Group 1 cars too, because they're older in terms of pre-89, but they're still quite finely tuned or finely sensitive vehicles. And like you say, brake balance can certainly affect the way the car brakes and turns in.
There, that looks like Up You.
That's Up You.
Yep.
He's got a lot of damage as well.
I'll try and get a little. See what we've
looks
got
like
there.
that chicane of death is certainly living up to its name in this race.
He's coming in. He's all by himself. And he's just clipped that inside corner as he's come around and it spun him. So all he's
on the way through there. On the way through there, Tate's run a little wide and he's hit the wall and picked him up some more damage as well, but it looks like he's going to continue with it.
And controversially, Up You has decided to not come into the pits. He's continued on through.
Wow, with a whole lot of damage as well. So
front and rear aero, 3 out of 4 wheels. That's not going to be good for him. So Abso's early crashes
fairly close on track now as well.
Fine Moves has been able to just edge out about 8 or 9 tenths. He's hovering around the area at the moment as he goes purple too. So he's looking racy now that his tyres are warmed up and he's a little bit lighter on fuel. We'll see if he can hold that out, and if Scooter's able to get back into his slipstream, which means those two will continue pulling gaps on pure axle.
Tate's come up on Up You. Oh, that was close. I don't think Up You saw him then, but Tate got past.
Through the dash chicane, Apex has run a little wide and has picked up damage as well, hitting straight away. So you see this restart of the race has maybe taken a little bit, some of the drivers out of their rhythm a little. So he's coming in and he's put some fuel in and he's away now.
Yeah, he's gotten his damage fixed. I think he learned from the first race. He saw how big the losses were, even with just a little bit of damage. He was closing in on fine moves in the first race, and then when he picked up the damage, he just dropped back by 3 or 4 tenths a lap, which is, in this level of racing, is really detrimental. So it's just best to come in.
Yeah, and I think up to this point, I think the big winner from the restart is Jonesy, who's now sitting in 5th, damage-free. So hopefully I'm not putting the curse on him like I have a couple of other guys already. But you could say it sucks that they got damage and had to pit, but that could happen to anyone throughout the next 36 laps as well. So
you could be on lap 40.
It's still up in the air.
Yep. Because there's some talk of doing 10-lap stints here for strategy. So if you're doing 10s, then you need to find that extra lap in there somewhere, and doing that one extra lap could mean the difference between you knowing how bad your tyre wear is and then coming through that chicane on the final lap. And it's all down to the last corner on this sort of track, unfortunately.
It looks like everyone is pitting as soon as they can to repair the damage, except for Tate, who's decided to continue on. I think because he had that really big crash at the start and had to spend time fixing that straight away, that he's trying to stay out and maybe get some more life out of his tyres.
Yeah, it looks like he's not too keen on pitting every lap, and I completely understand that, but when you get some damage, it's still best to just come in and get rid of it. I wonder if this is a bit of an insight to see what Season 7 is going to be like. We'll have full damage on for that season for those races as well, so hopefully people will learn and not cause themselves too much drama throughout Season 7.
I think it's definitely going to put more of a spotlight on finding your consistency in running on those worn tyres as well. I know a couple of people last season might have spun. You kind of hit the wall, you get a little bit of damage for 30 seconds, and then you're good to go. But this is brutal punishment for mistakes that you make or others make. So
absolutely is. If I can put on Apex, obviously not that's right.
Losing you there, low side.
Oh.
You're a little bit robotic there.
Yep.
Yeah.
You might be going through a tunnel. There you go.
All right, we're back.
Yep.
I was just going to point out Apex Humper as he comes across the line, and he was 4/10 up before, and he's just gone purple for the quickest lap in the race.
Yeah, 23 flat's great in race pace as well.
Yeah, showing what a bit of lighter fuel load can produce. Certainly knocks those tenths off per sector, and all adds up.
Yeah, there is argument there for some quick little half stints just to change the tyres and then run the tyres on an empty tank, because, geez, they're quick when you do that. But it's whether you're going to make that time up. They are a quick pit stop if you're just doing a tyre only and no damage or fuel. So it'll be interesting to see if anyone tries to pull that off.
Yeah, it seems most tracks on Gran Turismo Sport, if you just stop for tyres, is about somewhere between a 6 to 9 second loss. So somewhere in that mark, it's usually not a whole lot. If you're running, worn tyres and you're a second slower a lap, and you pit, you just need 5 or 6 laps to make that up on some fresh tyres and lower fuel. So.
Yeah, definitely.
See, Jonesy's closing right up onto the back of the wheel as well, coming into the final hairpin, leading back onto the start-finish straight.
Yeah, that battle for fourth is certainly heating up. Jonesy's been able to keep up with Oil for the past 7 or 8 laps. He's ducked out trying to make a move. Makes it nice and clean. I think Oil's made that easy for him as well.
Yep.
They've both realised that it's a long game, and they just tuck in behind one another and go for a good race.
So we're joined by our view. Yeah, that battle for fourth is definitely heating up at the moment. See if Oil can come back at Jonesy, or if Jonesy's going to be able to build a gap to him.
Did we lose you there, up you? I don't see you on track anymore. Have we dropped you out, have we?
Yeah, mate, dropped out again 2 weeks in a row.
Mate, that's just so unfortunate. It hasn't been a good night for it tonight.
No, I was doing really well. Got a good start. And, internet dropped out again. I don't know whether this internet all over is giving issues.
Yeah, the lobby seemed to have some dramas before and required a full reset, so...
Yeah, it's pretty disappointing. Get yourself all G'd up, anyway.
Yeah, it's definitely disappointing. Unfortunately, that is how it rolls sometimes.
Spitter's in, followed by Pure Axel.
These fine moves out by himself. While you've joined us up here, I noticed it was announced today you are as well a new team owner. Congratulations.
Thanks very much, guys. Looking forward to putting a good team together this year. I was one of the first team owners. We had a great team back then, and I don't think we'll get the same lads back again, but I'm certainly looking forward to developing a good team and putting some good practice sessions in.
Wonderful. Looking forward to the object of hitting the top 3 and retaining your team. Is that what you're looking for?
Oh, absolutely. Need to be able to retain a team. I think that's good for the team as well, to be able to sort of stick together and work together as a team.
Gives a little bit more incentive and a bit more of an extra level to the team championship, because ultimately it's You know, it's bragging rights at the moment, but when it becomes a little bit more real, it's good to try and keep the team together.
Exactly. Yeah, it does.
There's something I see on track at the moment. Apex, Scooter, and Pure Axle are all near each other on track. Apex is on some old tyres and has less fuel, but Scooter and Pure Axle are on fresh rubber and trying to chase him down at the moment.
Yeah, and Scooter and Pure have both gone with a half tank of fuel as well, by the looks of it, or maybe just a touch over when they came out of the pits. So
is that Apex coming in now?
That's Jonesy Evil One and Oil.
Jonesy Evil One, Oil and the Blood, they're all in. Yeah, I think there's a couple of different strategies going on tonight. I see the guys are starting to pit on lap 8, so obviously a five-stop stint there. I was looking at doing a 10 and 11s. Going for 4.
So you would have been able to make your tyres and, well, I guess fuel's not really an issue for 11 laps in these cars, but tyres can certainly play a bit of havoc when you're wearing them down.
Yeah, I was doing some practice last night. I was lapping 24, 25s and getting easy 10 laps out of it. It was difficult towards the end. 11 lapper was certainly difficult, but we got there.
Yeah, those are still quite some quick times.
Yeah. You put the miles in, you get the times out, I suppose. So yeah, I'm certainly starting to get my act together with the driving. I'd like to change my pedals and step it up another notch.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Fine moves coming through the final hairpin. Is he going to take his 11 lapper now? Is he going to come in on lap 10?
Stuck in for his lap 10.
He was 14 seconds in front, so we'll have to see where it brings him out compared to Apex.
Yeah, Apex has been out for a while because he pitted to repair some damage earlier on, so...
Yeah, so the people to watch would certainly be Scooter and Pure Axle.
There we go.
There goes Apex, there goes Scooter. Pure Axle's going to come around the outside of him as well.
Pure,
so he's taken on that extra 25% of fuel.
Yeah. I would say he's filled up that little bit more, and he's almost within slip of Pure Axle, which is probably going to play right into Fimo's hands. And if he can sit there and get a bit of fuel saving from in the slip, he'll certainly lap it up.
Yeah, amazingly, Apex is actually building a bit more of a gap back to Scooter as well, even on those worn tyres. That lighter fuel load's helping him pull away.
He's running consistent 23s as well, just a low 23s. Well, lap 10, he's just got the fastest lap.
Yeah, he beat his own time by 11 thousandths.
Yeah. Pure, I know you've been having problems with your headset, buddy. I think we might be experiencing it now. I'm getting a lot of feedback in here, so I might have to ask if you know how to fix it. Go for it.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay.
Yeah, the main place where Scooter's making up on Apex is through that final chicane, where I guess he's a little more daring on that fresh tyres. Team make up a tenth or so every braking zone or so. Back through the field, it looks like everyone's spread out a fair bit. Tate's still running around with that damage on, just trying to get through to the end of the stint, I'm assuming. Which should be this lap if he's going for a 10 lapper. This Scooter is right up on the back of Apex now with 3 tenths.
I'm shocked Diswood is that far back.
Yeah, well he had damage early and pitted to repair it as well, so...
Yep.
He did, yeah. So unfortunately, Diswood, while he has shown pace throughout the week, things unfortunately haven't gone his way come race day.
Yeah, they could still change. There's still a long time left in the race.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll see what Scooter decides to do here following Apex. It's very, very close under that rear wing, and that can be dangerous coming through the chicane, so...
Looks like everyone's come in already, so no one's trying to do a long stint. I know Oil has been a bit of a fan of the past.
Axel bounced off the wall. Fine moves in the wall.
Was that fine moves
gone? We're going to need to replay that one.
Yep, so Fine Moves is still in 4th, but he has...
There we go.
Major front end
We're
damage.
onto the replay now, just coming through the hairpin. So he's got no one behind him, that's for sure. With Pure Axle in front. And Pure Axle, I noticed, Yeah, oh, he's hit the inside wall, which has rebounded him onto the outside of those two corners, so, and completely spun him around. That's unfortunate for fine moves. That's going to be a lot of damage, I dare say.
Yeah, and that's brutal for him because he's 2 laps fresh out the pits as well, so he's not even coming towards the end of his stint or anything.
No, he's actually
that's already
stayed
cost
out.
him 10 seconds to pure axle.
Yep, Oil's come up right behind him as well, so I'm expecting a pass any second now.
He's not going to have too much to defend it.
Nah, he can't defend at all. He's realised it now. He's telling everyone to go around.
Yeah, just chuck the indicator on.
It's not great.
You just see the time loss here is brutal.
Yeah,
oh, look at him.
No matter what you
no
do,
front arrow.
Straight off again.
Reel it back, fine moves.
Yeah,
just got to get around. Oh,
he's got dirty tyres now. It's just not helping.
Yeah. So it just shows how much one little mistake can cost you. Oh, someone else is into the wall. Scooter's in the wall. Scooter's now got front end damage as well.
Scooter at 3. Yeah, let's see if we can bring that one up. So he's coming through. Oh yeah, he's just clipped the exit of the chicane again, so unfortunately.
So we see Apex and Scooter both come in. So Scooter luckily coming towards the end of a stint. I think that was 6 laps or so.
Yeah. He's gone for a spanner in his strategy.
No, he can still have a reasonable chance at holding his strategy, I think, but I don't think he can that early.
You can certainly do a 10 lap now and make up the difference from doing an 8 lap and then a 6 lap.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Pure Axel is just lapping it up out the front there. He's got a 12-second lead, and he's just running away with it now after all that.
Yep, and if we have a look back at 5th, we've got Jonesy, Evil One, and Intrinsic all fairly close to each other, so see if any of these guys make moves.
Yeah, just on with Intrinsic at the moment. He's unfortunately got some front aero damage and a bit of suspension damage, so he's
carrying a lot less fuel in them, so he might be okay to stop a little early and maybe overfuel, run a long stint. But he's now got Apex Humper chasing him down, which is a scary thing.
Yeah, it's never a fun time having Apex Humper trying to hunt you down and make a move.
I found myself guilty of watching the Delta. You see a 10th tick down here and there, so you brake a little later, you push a little harder through the corners, it costs you more.
Apex has got him.
Yeah, I think Intrinsic rolled out to let him through there by the looks of it.
Yeah. Got a nice and easy and a safe pass. Intrinsic's definitely got the fuel to go again. Yeah.
DS Packers come in, low fuel. He's avoided most chaos. I think he had to come in on the lap. I think it was one of the early laps he had to come in.
I think we just lost Tate again.
And
I'll just see if I can
enough,
sneak a replay in, guys. 1 second for me.
Way back. I think
I'll just point out
missed it. Yeah, I've just missed that replay. He's just looks like he's over-rotated straight into the fence.
So he's got these
damage, and yeah, that's a bugger.
And interestingly enough, I'm just on with Scooter in 7th, and he is running with front end damage on both wheels and front aero, so he's obviously not wanting to play around with his strategy too much.
You saw how much that impacted fine moves as well. On his lap, he went from he held 4th, and then throughout the lap, the damage cost him places all the way back down to 8th now.
Yeah, and there were some big gaps between those drivers too. So
absolutely,
you might only think it's 4 positions, but he's lost a whole heap of track time.
Yeah. So I believe he was only 2 seconds behind Pure Axel at the time of that incident, and now he is 35 seconds back, so
yeah,
been absolutely brutal. As Apex Humper's looking around the outside of Evil One, now tucked into the slipstream, just looking to make the pass. I don't know how that Porsche goes in straight line speed compared to the Mercedes, but
yeah, the Mercedes definitely has the upper hand on the straights. W1 was
held the position. Apex looked for a little bit of a switchback, but not possible through the left-right there. He's not going to want to sit behind for long because he knows he's got the pace to really get up the field at the moment. Both on fairly different strategies as well. Fresh tyres, you don't want to waste your fresh rubber trying to trying to make an overtake on a guy that's on all tyres.
Yep, as we've seen going round the outside through the sweepers. Makes a clean pass.
Using every bit of that grip that he still had there to the grip advantage.
Yeah, definitely. Now next up is Jonesy, so given his tyres, Jonesy's tyres are a little bit more worn, I'm expecting to see that overtake in the next few laps, pending on when Jonesy is coming into the pits for his strategy.
So it looks like Scooter has pitted this lap to repair that damage now, and Fine Moves has gotten back past him. Well, so the only two people running with damage at the moment is Contagious and Tate, from what I can see.
And interestingly enough, Scooter has just gone with the vehicle repair and stayed on his tyres.
Yeah, I think that could be a useful thing to do, simply because you know, that if that's costing you a second or so a lap, and you take 4 or 5 seconds to repair it and get out there, you don't waste the 2 seconds on tyres or time on fuel either.
Yep.
So Pure Axle's come out right behind Apex Humper after his stop now, battling for third.
We actually just saw an overtake.
It's a replay of
from Apex Humper on Pure Axle as he's coming out of the pits. So
yeah, so he's come out of the pits right behind him, and he's going to be in the same situation as Apex was the last lap, where he's going to want to use the fresher tyres to get past and not be held up by him.
Yeah, definitely.
And all this while Jonesy's just trying to stay in front of him and try and hold that gap. So I guess he'll be hoping that they fight a little harder to lose him a bit more time, so he can run away at the front a bit more.
We're almost up to our first driver getting lapped on lap 17. The blue flag's been shown, and Oily is right up there. He's not far away.
Contagious has stepped into the pits too, so he's going to end up being the first one lapped.
Yep, in the pits.
So
Tate's dealing with damage again as well, so he's not been having a good second race here at all. So he's ultimately a sitting duck with Oil coming up behind him. It's that overtake is inevitable.
Looks like Oil not, so he might be coming in this lap.
Yeah, I'm wondering what his strategy is. That was you then. Yeah, so you see Apex Humper, Pure Axle, and Jonesy all on track at the moment, battling for third. So this one will be one to watch. Apex Humper and Pure Axle.
Apex and Pure to come up the inside into the braking zone here, maybe.
I just want to throw a shout out to Tate. Then he just pulled off the line. He was showing the blue flag, got onto the straight, pulled off the line, and let Oily through. So with being a newcomer to Wheel to Wheel, that's what we want to see. So well done, buddy. Nice to see.
Yep, agreed. As we're watching Apex
Humper, those guys go through there so quick.
So close to each other and so quick too. So you see Apex Humper just showing the nose a little bit, trying to potentially force an error from Jonesy, as we see him duck off into the pits. Here we go. Yeah. So held him up just
now
for the
battle
right
between Pure and Apex is going to be on.
Yeah, both in the same car. Yeah, Oil's definitely prone to doing a long stint. He may be able to get through.
Fuel.
Yeah, fuel's going to be the biggest thing. He may have to come in at the end of this lap.
I think so.
Yeah, Oil was one of the great savers of the last season in the vets and that he was in, and he did a great job on his tyres and fuel in that vehicle. So I'd expect the same in these ones from him.
Yeah, that man he's a wizard on his tyres. Honestly, I have no idea how he's done it. I watched him in practice lobbies to try and figure it out, and he hides his secrets well. Like
he does, doesn't he? Just manages to pull it off and consistently stay very, very quick too. You know, some people can be really quick, but they'll be hard on their tyres. Other people will be quick, but you know, will sacrifice speed for saving tyres and saving fuel. But Oil's just manages to be the best of both worlds.
So we expect to see him come in this lap with that fuel.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes, it does. So only a 5-second gap back to Apex, who's on a different strategy. as well. So we'll see where this puts Oily out.
And Tate's still staying out there.
Purex will come by.
As we see Evil One duck into the pits now as well.
Yeah. I think at this point Tate is just committed to running his stints regardless of the damage, because he was losing a fair bit of time. So Oil's come out in 4th behind Fine Moves.
Interesting.
Fine Moves on about a quarter of a tank, while Oil's filled up to about 60%.
So Oil might be looking to get that 11 lap stint to get back onto the 10 lap strategy, and then potentially run another 11 lapper after that. Try and round it out.
Oh, here goes Pure Axel. He's making the move, shows the nose.
Well, he's got the inside on the exit. Yeah, he's going to have that on the exit.
Yeah.
Oh, who's going to give way first? Going too wide. Oof, yeah, Apex is wide. Yeah. He just pulls back.
Wise move. Someone had to.
Yeah, that's the worst place to be coming too wide. As we've seen earlier on in the race, you can come to quite a lot of grief just driving through there by yourself, let alone trying to go too wide. It's honestly impossible.
I think the only thing I've gone too wide in there through was in the old Mini Coopers at a series that I was a part of a while ago, where we had the minis come through here and we ran 3 wide through the death chicane. It's a ridiculous series.
That'd be great fun.
I think at one point we were 6 wide at Blue Moon.
Perfect.
Sounds
like a great amount of fun.
Quick shout out to a couple of people watching on YouTube at the moment. Just wondering why the heck they're not here. There's some names that you'd usually expect to see in this race, like Zuzu and Zedi.
Yeah, definitely.
And even Tombo's in there having a watch as well. So, and I've known Spence to put his nose up into Div 1 now and then and give the guys a run for their money. So, glad to see you watching, guys. Damn shame he's aren't racing.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's always good to see some of the top fellas in the YouTube chats.
And another one as well that's just jumped in as NZL Cowboy, who, from what I understand, is probably watching from his hospital bed. So, buddy, all the best. Hopefully things are going well for you.
He's just come off at the chicane. I'm not sure who that was. I can't find him there, but someone has.
I did see that. I've tagged it if we can find him.
Yes, I think Contagious maybe? Yeah, he's showing damage on the front end. So Contagious in 12th at the moment. He must have just come off through the chicane.
Let's see if I can grab him. We're zipping back to see how Contagious is looking. We've just got him coming around the hairpin right now. And yes, Zedi, I did notice. I was just holding off. And here he comes through. He's got a good line, but he's just clipped the outside as he's gone through the straight, and it's just pinballed him straight through both apexes there. So, unfortunate for that.
Yeah, he's smart as well. He's just come into the pits, fresh set of tyres, filled up to about 70% and gotten rid of that damage. So, hopefully he'll try and do a longer stint.
Fine Move's sticking to his strategy as well. He's come in at the end of lap 21. So he's got his 11 lapper out of the way, and if he can stay damage free, it's looking like he's going to run 10 lappers to the end. He's come out in 9th, a fair way behind the leaders, but again, anything can happen, as we've seen.
Yeah, it certainly can. This race is only about 50% through, and there's still plenty of time for a lot of shuffling throughout the field.
How are Apex's tyres at the moment? Oh, as I say that, he comes in. They must be shot. I noticed he was a bit slippery there behind Pure Axel, so I thought he must be due.
I think Pure Axel's got another couple laps left in him. Potentially 2, looking at his fuel and tyres. So it'll be interesting to see where he pops out after his next pit stop.
So looking at the timing, it looks like Apex came in on lap 13, whereas Oil came in on lap 16, so 3 laps fresher tyres for him.
On the topic of shout-outs as well, Dodgy, I'll take this opportunity to give a shout-out to racers. They are a season sponsor for Wheel to Wheel and also allowing us to bring the stream to many platforms. YouTube, I believe we're live on Facebook these days as well, and potentially Twitch.
Yep,
so
all three tonight.
Races are perfect. Races are a grassroots racing division in Queensland, isn't it? They're out at Queensland Raceway and another track that now slips my mind.
Lakeside Raceway in Queensland as well, but they do a lot of local street racing, and they're also in WA, as well as doing little stints now and then at other tracks around the country. So yeah, they get around.
Fine Moves gives Contagious a bit of a hip and shoulder as well. So Contagious getting lapped and didn't see Fine Moves coming up the inside, gave him a little bit of a bump, say, hey mate, get out of the way. Trying to reel Intrinsic in for 6th place now.
Yeah, Fine Moves is obviously looking eager to try and claw some of that time lost from his earlier accident. Well, he's still got 18 or so laps to get that done.
It's a big ask. He is 33 seconds behind Pure Axel.
I just want to say, I think Jonesy's done a great job on his consistency in these last since the restart as well, because we know he had that drama in the first race and ran around with damage for a while, and he's done a really good job to stay consistent and clean, and it's just showing how important that is with him being in 3rd now as well.
Yeah, and quite comfortably at the moment. Apex is about 2 seconds behind him. I've not been watching that delta too closely, but that may
Apex
look like
it's reeling him a little bit. He's on some fresh tyres, so I'd expect it to.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, absolutely. Jonesy's shown some good pace. We're seeing blue flags waved at the moment.
I believe that's for Tate being passed by it.
Fine Moves has taken Intrinsic on the hairpin. So now he's got him leading into the bus stop.
Finally get some screen time for that beautiful Mazda.
We saw Intrinsic run
just
quite wide on that second apex of the chicane, but luckily cleared it and didn't get any damage. But looking at his fuel and tyres, he is well due for pit stop, so expect to see him duck in right about now.
So Pure Axel's just made his stop now, and he's come out 2.2 seconds behind Oil as well, so Pure Axel's in a great spot at the moment.
Sure, and just as I mentioned Intrinsic to come into the pits, he's made a big liar out of me and stayed out for yet another lap.
Ooh, it's going to be pushing that fuel, he might have enough.
Yeah.
I guess if you know your car, you know your car, so...
Hey, he's been a Div 1 driver for many a season, so... I'm not about to doubt his estimations. Yeah, Apex is certainly closing in on Jonesy. That gap's fallen to about a second now.
So he's made a second in about the last lap.
Yeah.
And he's continuing to close down. We'll see a bunch of time chunked out of it through the chicane. With them fresh tyres, you can be a little more confident. 7 10 down to 6, down to 5.
Just clips the wall on the exit. Very lucky man to be able to keep that on track.
And I guess we'll expect a pass coming into turn 1, if not beforehand here. With them fresh tyres, Apex won't want to be sitting behind Jonesy for long.
Nah, surely he's going to be lining that up on the straight. Ooh, no, I take that back.
Oh, Jonesy's gone
He's
wide.
forced a small error from Jonesy, and Jonesy's just outbraked himself, but he's managed to hold on to it for now.
Yeah, Transit comes in with 0%. There you go.
Okay, on the wire. As we see, Apex Ump has just made a move on Jonesy as well, coming out of the first set of corners.
Pure Axel's reeling in Oil. He's made up a second in the last 1.5 laps as well, so Pure Axel's just looking to get on with his race. I think these two are out of pit sync. I think Pure Axel's making more stops, but running a little faster.
Yep, I wouldn't be surprised if Oil's sticking to his guns and sticking to the longer stint.
So I believe Oily came in on lap 19, so I don't know how that's going to work out for his strategy, but I guess we'll see. We'll have to wait and see for that one.
Yeah, for sure. And Pure Axle showing his pace, not to mention he's on brand new tyres as well, is certainly going to help that move be a little bit easier.
Yeah, brand new tyres and half a tank of fuel. That thing's a rocket ship right now.
Oh yeah.
Comes up the inside through the kink, and he's cleared him before the braking zone. So beautiful pass by Pure Axle there to take back the lead, and I'm sure he's going to want to just run away with it. For Oil, it might be a good idea to try and stick behind him as long as you can to try and minimise time loss running on those more worn tyres.
Sounds like the plan, mate.
I keep forgetting you're in the chat here, Oil.
It'd be a shame if you put it in the wall now. Anyway, we'll see Apex Humper. Apex Humper's now built a bit of a gap to Jonesy and is closing in on second place. Well, so a little bit fresh tyres. So a lot of different strategies happening throughout the field at the moment.
Yeah, it seems that Damage has started to bring out the thinking on your feet for your changes in strategy. So a lot of people have fallen out of sync. So it's actually good to see we're getting a bit more on-track action, a little bit more overtakes, and some good close racing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to next week's round to see these beautiful Group C machines going around Lassar. I think that's going to be beautiful to watch.
I'll certainly feel right at home. It'll be a weekend to watch for sure.
You see Apex is right up on the rear bumper of Oil now, and Jonesy dives into the pits. Again, Oil looks like he just pulled off and broke a little early to let the pass happen. He's just trying to tuck in behind, save as much time as possible.
So I wonder if we
even wanted Jonesy all in the pits as well.
I wonder if we've missed something further, because Scooter is sitting further down the field at the moment than where I expected him to be, even post his early damage. I wonder if something's happened to him. We've missed
I think he had a second stop that he had to make due to damage somewhere in there.
Yeah, okay. Just again showing how unforgiving that chicanered F can end up being.
Absolutely, and Diswood's starting to make a little bit of a recovery drive from that early mistake. Now in 6th, coming up behind Jonesy. Jonesy is fresh out of the pits though, has a lot more fuel with some beautiful brand new tyres.
Yeah, it looks like Jonesy's gone for longer stint, having about 75% worth of fuel.
Yeah, I think he's going for 10 lappers on 9 if I remember correctly.
Yep, that would make sense.
So we should expect fine moves in about 3 laps time as well. He's kind of lapping in a little bit of no man's land. We've got 11 seconds in front and 13 behind, so... Oh, is he's just run into the grass?
What's going on there? Yeah, he's just turning hard left. I do not know what happened there.
Yeah, he's picked
I'll
up
try and bring
damage
it up
from
on a
that
bit
too.
of a replay. Let's see how we go.
He's in 4th at the moment.
So we've got him coming around the last corner.
He was just coming down the straight.
He's taking it tight.
Start finish.
No, everything looks normal there so far. Yep, and he's hit the straight now. And I think he must have just reached over to get a whiskey or something, because, yeah, he's just gone off the track for absolutely no reason. So I dare say he was just putting a bit of ice in the glass if he was lucky.
Yeah, maybe taking a bit of an opportunity to fill his water up. But, yeah, interesting. I'm not sure why that was the case, but unfortunately he's picked up damage again, and that's ultimately going to hurt even more of his race, because he was on track to join back up with, and he's 13 seconds behind Oil now, but he was down to about 14
if he
seconds.
stays out for another lap in pits at the end of 30, he'll just need another 11 lapper. So if he sticks it out for 1 lap, or he could fuel for a 12. I don't know how the tyres are going to go across 12 laps, but as Oil comes in with 1% remaining as well.
Let's see how Oil's going. You there, buddy?
Yeah, buddy, all good?
How's the race treating you so far?
Oh, mate, I'm taking this really calm.
You've heard us talk about how many other people
anyway,
have...
so I'm fueled to the end now, and I'll see if I'm going to come in and get some more tyres in about 6 laps or not.
No worries, mate. Good luck with us. Won't bother you out there.
Cheers, mate.
see, Diswood's kind of he's closing the gap to Jonesy a little bit, little by little. So it looks like Jonesy might have made a mistake on lap 28, lost about 3 seconds or so, and Diswood's starting to reel him in a bit. But
I think the lap 28 was his out lap, looking at what I can read, so that would explain why he was 3 or so seconds off where he wanted to be. But it certainly looks like every time Diswood's gotten a bit closer, Jonesy's been able to answer back and claw those couple tenths away from him. So it would have been an interesting battle going on there.
I think Jonesy and Diswood have a little bit of a history. These guys have chatting to them last night. They've been on various platforms racing each other for a couple of years. So if there's two guys around that'll know each other's racing and be able to sort of guess what the guy's going to do next, it's going to be those two.
I could be wrong, but I believe they're both part of SLM.
Yep. Yeah, I was just looking at their liveries, and you can see the SLM logo.
Yeah. So I can't remember if Jonesy's a part of it. I believe he is, but
he is. Yeah. Yep.
So they'd definitely be familiar with each other. Scooter's in.
Yeah, for
He's
sure.
probably going to fuel to the end here, or unless he's going to go for like a 5-lapper.
Yeah, he may come in and do some tyres, depending on where he lands coming out of the pits.
I think he might have to run long to make up some spots in case anyone else pits on the way.
Yeah. Diswood's starting to wear his fronts, well, both front and rears, a lot more than Jonesy, so that'd probably be why Jonesy's able to pull away those couple tenths back now. Gap was down to about 7 tenths, he's got to about 1.4.
You're on board with Apex Humper as well, Dodgy?
I was then going through
there.
Yep. We're just on with fine moves now to see how he takes it.
I'm sure he won't be taking too many risks.
I have noticed he has lifted off a bit through there since that first incident. He's been very, well, not timid, but a lot less aggressive through there.
I'd expect fine moves in this lap now as well, that'll keep him on his strategy.
I'd be very surprised if he doesn't. Yeah, there we go. He certainly showed a bit of a touch on the brakes coming through the chicane, so if that happens, you know that you may have slightly overcooked it, and you're just going to make sure you get through rather than give yourself some more damage.
Absolutely.
Pure Axel, when's he going to pit? He hasn't pitted in the last two, I don't think, so he's got to be due in shortly.
I'd expect him in this lap, to be honest.
Yeah, it'll be a short stint for his finish. Now, I believe he won this division last week, and with fine moves close behind. But he's also using a H pattern shifter as well. For the first time was last week, so this is his second week using it. Obviously, it is doing wonders for him. So must be enjoying that H pattern instead of the paddles.
I believe with the H pattern you can shift a little faster, so I can't remember if they patched it out or whatever, but it was a thing where if you use it you could shift faster and gain a slight advantage every gear shift, so that could be it. But obviously you have to have the skill to be able to do it. You can't just, chuck it on and hope for the best. But
there's certainly a learned talent. It's in the world of sim racing, a lot of people get really used to using the paddles and then go and use an H pattern shifter and a clutch, and it changes the way a lot of people drive, so it takes a lot of adjusting. So it's obviously working for Pure Axel. So you see him just come out of the pits and he's still about 4 seconds in front of Apex.
Diswood's in for his final stop as well.
Apex and Pure are definitely fueled to come to the end as well. Dare say Jonesy's got another pit stop in him somewhere.
Yeah, I think Jonesy, Intrinsic are the only two that might have to stop again.
Oh no, we see fine moves with some more damage as well on his front left and front wing, so unless he hasn't fixed that in the pits the last time he was in, but I would certainly expect if you're already there, you would get your vehicle sorted.
Yeah.
Especially
he's got
for
that
the last
screaming
two.
Mazda behind him. Oh man.
Yeah, especially for the last stint, like you say.
A couple of times I've jumped on board and I think I've heard that screaming Mazda from the other side of the track. It's so loud.
Certainly puts the fear in in your ears when you've got to come
fine,
up.
They're both off wide.
Both wide. Managed to keep it together, but they will probably pick up dirty tyres from that. So we'll see how that affects them coming through the bus stop section.
We should expect Intrinsic to come in this lap. He's running fairly low on fuel, so...
Yeah, for sure.
And who was the other one? Jonesy. Jonesy stays out, so I believe he could make it to the end on that fuel, but he would have to save pretty heavily, so...
I think Fine just touched the wall a bit then.
6.
Yeah, Finders are still carrying that damage, so I would expect that to be playing havoc with them, unfortunately.
As
There we go, we see Intrinsic. Yep. So the gap between Apex and Pure Axle has actually closed down to about 1.8. So it was about 4 seconds when Pure Axle came out of the pits.
I was going to say, Apex Humper is really his driving style. I've never seen it as aggressive as it is tonight. He really wants that first spot. The way he's been throwing that into the corners, usually he's a pretty smooth driver, but tonight he is just balls out going for it. Absolutely wringing that thing's neck.
He's been punching out qualifying laps, and on that topic, his last lap was a 22.6. Yeah. In race trim, that is outstanding.
So he's beat his own fastest lap, I think, 3 times now.
Yeah, he's been the only name I've seen up there.
It's insane.
Pulling out
he's also he's fueled up a little more than Pure Axle as well, so maybe he wants the freedom to be able to rev it all the way out and push a little harder, not get that anxiety of maybe having to bump up the fuel map on the last lap or
yeah, it's certainly helping him punch out those qualifying lap after qualifying lap, and he's hopefully we'll be in for a good last few laps between Apex and Pure Axle for the lead.
So Jonesy stayed out again. I'm really interested to see when he's gonna jump into the pits, because I believe he's the only person. As Fine Moves jumps in to repair that damage and get some fresh tires, I believe, and some fuel as well. I believe he's the only one that's not fueled to the end now.
Interesting, yeah. Fine Moves has picked up quite a lot of fuel. He's up to about 50% for the last 6 laps or so.
Seems to be where most people are sitting at. With Jonesy being the only one below, which is he's at about 22%. He's down fairly low compared to the rest. But Apex is now within 3/4 of a second of Pure Axle, coming up to
certainly within striking distance, isn't he?
As Fine Moves is taking the time to join the party while on his out lap.
Speak of the devil, and he's
how you doing, boys? Got to jump in. Race is over. Oh man!
Unfortunately, we've seen you.
Did you guys see what happened
early on?
Yeah,
we called it.
Yeah,
which time Fine Moves?
I didn't. Well, the thing was, I didn't see the second one, so I didn't. My last stint, I didn't realize I was driving on a damaged. On damage, and then I pitted and thought I was hitting the diamond to stop, and then it cancelled my repair. So I just did another pit stop then.
Yep.
Yeah. I did notice that. I wasn't sure if you had another run in with the wall or if it just wasn't fixed.
Oh, you know what? Actually, it was probably I did run into the wall down the pit straight.
Yeah, that's where you
I was trying to do a ZD and call the missus while I was on the straight, but
did he actually call that in the YouTube chat? He said
he'll give you a replay.
Probably trying to type.
If you jump on with me, I'll do a replay for you. I kind of did that.
There you go.
Anyways, yeah.
He runs it deep into the corner.
Now he's run deep as well with dirty tyres.
Damn, it was a good race until I bended that first time, but yeah.
Yeah.
We've got Apex catching up to Pure Axle up in front.
Oh, as you say that, he's in it.
He's
got
just
damage.
That's going to hurt Apex.
That's it.
That's
and
done
that's
his race now.
No.
So now Jonesy's under 10% fuel as well, so I'd expect him to come in either this lap or next lap. And that might bring on the fight between him and Apex if Apex hits to repair the damage.
Yeah, certainly looks like Oil's in a good position.
I was going to say in this race, we have a lot of drivers in this race. Fine Moves, you're one of them, that for the new season ahead will be draft picks for the first pick of the new teams.
Intrinsic spun.
Oh no.
Oh, yep. Intrinsic down in 10th.
That one if you can, Dodgy.
Let's find it. Where's Intrinsic?
He's in 10th currently.
10th at the moment. So I believe Tate has dropped out of the race as well after being lapped.
Let's see if we can find him.
It has too.
Oh no, unfortunately I've just come in on the end of that one with Intrinsic. It looks like his back wheels just went off the curb there and he's just spun around, so unfortunate.
So interestingly enough, Apex Hunter has been able to stay out in front of Oil throughout that last pit stop. Well, damage repair, I should say.
Yeah, he's got 9/10 on him.
He didn't take in fuel, so
no, he's just come in to do his vehicle repairs.
We seem to be losing you a bit there now, Super Dragon. I think you're going through that tunnel that Apex is going through.
Wouldn't be wheel-to-wheel stream without some technical dramas, would it?
Oh, don't jinx me. Come on, I'm almost at the end.
No, we've really had our technical dramas with the Gran Turismo lobby. That's been our main issue for the night. I'm happy to leave it at that.
So as I was saying, this race...
over now.
Oh no, wait, he's back.
He's back, yep. With the way Season 7's shaping up, the first pick for all the teams is a draft pick. So Fine Moves, I think, is going to be one of those draft picks, and I think maybe Apex Humper and Pure Axle are going to be draft picks as well, the way it's going. So these drivers have no idea what team they're going to end up yet for Season 7. So that's quite an interesting future ahead for these drivers.
Yeah, I sort of took those reins into my own hands almost inadvertently, being a team owner, and then after I realised I was a team owner, it was revealed that we would be doing the draft pick, and being a top 8 driver, it's looking like I will be that top 8 in my own team.
Oh, looks like we've had
Congratulations.
Tate's had a drop out as well,
so
unfortunately.
he dropped out of the race a little bit earlier. He pulled off, but it's looking like that Apex is able to run away from Oil a little bit. So Oil, as he said earlier, he's just taking it easy, trying to be nice and consistent, and not get any damage. Yeah, bring it home. Yep. You don't want to mess it up with 3 laps to go. So
nah, not at all. The rest of the field remains
surprised
fairly well spread.
To see Jonesy and Evil One in 4th and 5th. No discredit to the speed of them, but look at the drivers behind them. We've got Scooter, Diswood,
Fine Moves.
Fine Moves. So
that must
Jonesy
have
and
been
Evil
Fine
One really
Moves'
showing
other half pulling him
the
back.
consistency. The consistency can gain you a lot more places than maybe a second a lap faster.
Yep. And Apex has been the most recent example of that.
Jonesy's actually done a 22.7, so Jonesy is flying. He's gone purple as well through the first sector.
There you go. He's low on fuel and his tyres are looking pretty good too, so he's definitely looking racy at the pointy end of the Enduro.
Yeah,
not
unfortunately
for him, he's got
9
10 seconds to the next guys. Yeah.
You don't think so? Mate, I feel like a big juicy carrot.
No.
Well, no pressure, but he was only 2 seconds faster than your last lap, so.
Yep, spot on 2 seconds, but unfortunately, I think it's a little bit too little, too late. Well, it's not too little, but it's certainly too late.
I mean, again, anything can happen. Oil has been racing fairly safe to try and avoid the damage and just be nice and consistent. So.
And Apex has been the most recent example of racing too hard and was unfortunately
comes through the chicane and picks up a little bit of damage as well.
Chicane of Death is certainly living up to its name, especially with full damage. Certainly ruined a few people's races.
Created so much chaos at that start where I believe it was Diswood and Tate had full engine damage and all 4 wheels and aero and everything was gone. So.
Absolutely everything.
You had to know it would with these cars. They're just, it's like skating on ice through that chicane. You really can't try and go flat. I've only seen one person pull it off flat, and I was gobsmacked when he did. But these cars are not the type that are going to take that chicane easily.
Nah, See, that's part of the reason why I'm not racing this week. Earlier this afternoon, I did manage to go through the chicane flat, but that was just a pure fluke. I just wanted to see if it was possible, and it is. But I would not be doing that anywhere near consistently.
The hard part about taking it flat is you have to do it 41 times.
That's right. The possibilities are probably 1 in 9 of actually doing it flat. So, Fine Moves has gone off again.
As he's
on the
taken
topic of Fine Moves, though, I was just going to say, he's taken the fastest lap. So he's taken those honours away from Apex Hunter, who's been able to hold them for the past 39 laps.
I think he's stopped caring and he's just centred on these final couple laps. He said race is over. Oh well, he's been like Verstappen coming in with a couple of laps ago just to steal the purple lap. Yep.
No, he's got fuel to go to the end as well, but he's also picked up some more front end damage, so we'll see if he wants to fix that or just come home and finish out the race.
Coming into the hairpin for the last time. He's still got a 10.5 second lead over Apex, so he's got nothing to stress about as long as he takes this chicane of death fine for this last time.
Yeah, he's come through death fairly safely.
Let's just go back to Apex as he comes through. Yep, no
he's taking a little bit more risky, but he's been able to keep it together.
Over the curbs are bloody scary. As Oil's picked up some damage on the last lap.
A little bit. We got Jonesy coming through. He's good.
And Pure Axel's across the line for the win. Apex Humper coming around the final corner right now to secure his second place. Well done to Apex. Well done to Pure Axel. It's looking like Oil's going to claim that third.
Yep.
Oil's got a comfortable third, even from a late charge from Jonesy, pulling in fourth.
Great job to Jonesy, flashing the headlights, taking home that
fantastic result for him.
Evil One coming I didn't see him coming up this high. Came out of nowhere for me, but really good consistent drive from Evil One.
Certainly pulled out a fantastic result tonight as he comes across the line with what looks like no fuel. So very well timed.
Scooters brought home 6th. Diswoods made his debut and brought home a 7th in Div 1. That's not too shabby, if you ask me.
Can't complain at that.
CS Packers going to come across and claim 8th, and then we have Fine Moves coming across the line as the last finishing car.
Who has not been lapped.
The 2 cars behind him had been lapped,
That's a great job for Packer, considering he couldn't get in at the start. To come up and finish 8th, that's not a bad job for him at all. Well done, Packer.
Yeah, and that restart for Jonesy, he saw his mistake in the first race and absolutely fixed it.
Yep. Pulled himself in and realised that it's a long game and any damage, you're just best off fixing it. He's come through with a fantastic result.
Yeah, I'll just put those race results up again. So we've got Pure Axel, Apex Humper, Oil in My Blood, Jonesy, Evil One, Scooter 82, Diswood, CS Packer, Fine Moves in 9th, Intrinsic 10th, and Contagious in 11. I think we've had about 2 dropouts as Packer joins us in the comm box right now. G'day, Packer. How'd you go, buddy?
Yeah, not too bad, guys. Hit the wall a few times, but overall, all good.
Mate, you weren't the only one. Don't worry.
No, you're in good company tonight.
Solid 8th place, though. Good job. That's a good effort. Solid effort.
Among this field of drivers, that's nothing to be ashamed of.
I must admit, those top guys are freaks.
They certainly are, aren't they?
He's saying what we're all thinking.
That's right. Oily, are you still with us?
Yeah, buddy.
How'd you go with your finish, mate? Congratulations. Well done on the podium.
No worries, thank you very much.
Good job on third.
As I said, mate, I tried to take it nice and easy. And I only hit the wall on the last lap. It was a really good race.
Sweating to go 40 laps there, no doubt.
Tagging them all.
Absolutely.
And what about Fine Moves? Is he still with us? No, he's on the phone.
He's got to go stream. No, he's got to go stream the next lobby.
No, he's here.
Can you guys hear me?
Ah, there he is.
Oh, yeah,
How'd
no,
you
I'm just
finish
getting
up
up for the next stream.
Fastest lap,
man.
mate. 1:22.633.
Oh, yeah, that's. I guess I'll take that.
If you can take one thing,
Sounds
that'll
so
do
happy
it.
about it.
Yeah. Okay, and so I'll thank you all there because we do have to set up for the next stream. Fine Moves is getting on it. We've got to let these guys get on. So we're going to have to wrap this up pretty quickly. Captain, I'll throw it to you for the wrap-up, mate.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic night of racing. It's certainly proved that full damage has caused some chaos and shaken up the field a little bit. So it's good to see some excellent results from some of our consistent drivers, as well as some new races to the league. So if anyone is watching and they want to lose
during next season as well with full damage, so
we do, yes. So, and if anyone wants to join in on the fun, we do have an open door within Wheel to Wheel. So if you feel like jumping on, reach out to any one of us.
There's a join
button. The Facebook page, join up.
Yep. Smash like on YouTube while you're at it.
Yeah, do the usual, like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss another race stream. And we will look forward to seeing you all next time. Thanks for joining me, Super Dragon, and doing the visuals dodgy. Good evening.
Cheers. Good night, guys.